I'm here at the Vuelta, España, and I want to check out some of the custom bike tech on the pros' bikes. So I'm going to go around, get my grubby little hands on their bikes and see what they've got and then what is custom, more importantly, on their bikes. Come on. Looking out for custom bits of tech isn't necessarily that easy because, believe it or not, a lot of the pros, they do in fact ride a standard bike and equipment. So what have I spotted? This custom 3D printed GPS mount on the handlebars of Fabio Aru. So most of the mounts, they actually come out straight, whereas this one has a rise and then straight. So it's just a little bit higher, and presumably he's not going to have to crook his neck quite as much when looking down at the screen. Dimension Data, as far as I'm aware, are the only team in the World Tour peloton who have customized hubs, or as close as you can get anyway. Check out these from Chris King. They're in this anodized green color to match the team kit. I love that. Have you got customized hubs? Let me know in the comments. Now here's a really odd little bit of custom tech that I've just spotted on the TT bikes, or at least some of them of the Trek Segafredo team, because I've not seen anyone use this for quite a while. Cork brake pads. So probably 15 years ago, something like that, lots of people were using those with carbon fibre wheels, but these days people tend to use a rubber compound pad instead, specifically designed for carbon fibre. But presumably these riders in question have chosen to use cork because they prefer the braking qualities using cork. So yeah, there we are. I do know a few of my friends who have real weight weenie bikes at home. They replaced their rubber compound carbon pads for these cork ones because they are significantly lighter. As for the differences in braking quality, well, that ultimately does lie on the braking track of the wheel in question though. Check out this for a bit of custom tech, a 58 tooth chainring. I'm pretty sure that Shimano don't actually offer this as a standard part for aftermarket sales. I've certainly never seen one for sale. If you have, let me know down there in the description, because I'll be keen to find out where you can buy them from. And get this, on the back it says Proto, so I reckon it's probably a team issue only kind of product. It's cool, isn't it? Do love a bit of custom tech like this. One of the most popular custom hacks of mechanics here in the World Tour is in fact using this. No, it's not honey, it's actually tubular glue, but in order to get it onto the tyres a little bit easier, putting it into one of these squeezy bottles is way easier to apply it neatly onto the base tape, as you can see. I love things like that. However, I'm not going to go near it with my slice of bread because I could be in a sticky situation, quite literally. What about this then for a lovely bit of custom tech? This is the bike of Thibaut Pinot, who I think is one of the most exciting bike racers there is. On his top tube, he's got a list of victories that he has taken in various races along the way in his career. I think that is absolutely brilliant. Let's just hope, well actually I do hope he gets some more victories during this year's Vuelta España, but I wonder what they'll do if they'll get the old stencils out and try and add a few more to the top tube. But with paintwork like this, I'm a huge fan of it. Brilliant. Nice one, Thibaut. What about this then for a bit of custom tech? A little rubber bumper guard down here on the chainstay to stop the chain from that annoying rattle that sometimes can happen over rough ground. If you're probably most likely in the small ring and then the little sprocket here on the rear, although it could happen as well on the big ring over a particularly rough road, but I think things like that are really nice just to protect the paintwork and also stop that annoying rattle. And what about this then? Down here on the right hand chainstay, just here on the outside, behind the chain set, tucked away, is a little threaded port. What can that be for? Well, my sources tell me that is in fact for a cadence magnet, so you could screw a very small one inside of there. I have seen some of the teams here actually putting magnets inside of the chainstay itself and holding it in there with some epoxy resin. I didn't want to get my grubby little hands dirty though, so I haven't been able to actually tell this team, or at least help them, to fit one in there themselves. Carrying speed through a time trial is obviously ultra important and vital, as it is whilst riding a standard road stage. However, for time trial stages, it's pretty common practice for mechanics to fit a larger inner ring than you would find in commonplace on most bikes. So normally you'd have a 39 or lower there on the inner chainring. However, this one's been fitted with a 44 tooth chainring. Why? Well, I imagine for the unfortunate incident, if your chain was to dislodge and move inwards, you're then going to be having a lower impact on your cadence from those changes in chainring size. This chain catcher from K-Edge is really cool and certainly has a good function or two to help out a rider. Firstly, it's going to prevent the chain from coming off and jamming in between the chain set and the frame, which in turn is going to damage your paintwork and possibly damage the frame too. And then check out this for a little bit of Billy bonus. It's got a magnet built onto the bottom of it. What's that for then? Well, that is for the power meter. So it acts as a trigger, if you like, for the cadence sensor. So this Shimano power meter, it does require a separate magnet to be fitted onto the chainstay traditionally. But with this, you don't need to. You've got a bonus one fitted onto that chain catcher. What about this then for a bit of custom tech on the front of this time trial bike belonging to Ben King of Team Dimension Data? At first, I thought this was some sections of old Michelin Air B latex inner tubes, but they're not. They're far too thick for that. Instead, it could well be some heat shrink, which has been put onto the time trial extensions instead of using the joystick handlebar tape who sponsor the team. Presumably, he likes to have almost minimal feel, or minimal bulk rather, but maximum feel there and a little bit of extra grip. I don't know. If I see Ben, I'll try and find out and let you know at some point. And what about this? It's a bridge for his GPS mount, which is held on, wait for this, using electrical tape. MacGyver style building. Now, you don't get much more custom than when you've got a bike here at the Vuelta España that is fitted with components that only 2 other riders here at the race have got on their bikes too. This I've just spotted is the prototype of the Campagnolo Super Record EPS 12-speed group set. How cool is that? Doesn't have any logos on it either. And the lucky rider who's got this group set on his bike for the Vuelta España is Maxime Montfort of the Lotto Soudal squad. And now, if you have a look at the rear derailleur, it's taken a complete redesign of the carbon fibre 11-speed model. This one is made out of aluminium. No, don't worry, I have been told, or I'm led to believe anyway, that it will be made out of carbon fibre for the Super Record version. It's Super Record after all. Now, part of that redesign also incorporates larger size pulley wheels or jockey wheels. Now, they're not to the extremes, obviously, of ceramic speed and their oversized pulley wheel system, but there are more teeth on here that are going to allow you to essentially have a freer running chain at the rear of the bike. Front derailleur, that's taken a redesign too, as you can see, totally unbranded, but yeah, it is a Campagnolo one, because it's not going to work if it wasn't. Then the levers, they've got no branding on there either, but again, they are a pair of prototype shifters. Something I just spotted on the bike here at Thomas de Ghent is this secondary seat clamp. Now, whilst this one doesn't actually clamp traditionally onto the frame of the bike, it actually goes onto the seat post. So how does this work? Well, you put this clamp onto the seat post before you insert the seat post into the frame. And when your saddle is at the desired height, you put this little clamp up to its torque, and then you know the exact setting of your saddle height. So if you are going to be removing it, if your bike's being packed away somewhere, or it could even work if your original seat clamp was to fail, this one is kind of like a backup plan for it. I love things like that. Now, a true way of customizing your bike is basically to have one painted so that nobody else can copy you. So in this instance, the bike of Victor Campenaerts of Lotto Soudal, he's not only got it in the Belgian colourway because he is a 2-time Belgian TT champ, but he's also got the Belgian blue colour, which I always think looks great, and that can also represent the European TT Championships that he's won back-to-back, both in 2017 and 2018. However, the 2018 victory was so recent, they haven't in fact updated this decal here with the 2018 one, but don't worry, we all know you did it. How has Victor Campenaerts decided to customise the front of his bike then? Well, he's got some of the classic grip tape, which we see used on nearly all of the time trial bikes, especially here in the Vuelta España. Other than the actual forearm rest here, you don't really want to be putting any grip tape on there, do you? But he's put it on the inside and outside of the EPS controls. He's put it here on the end of the skis and also down there on the base bar. None on the brake levers though. A couple of riders I've spotted with that though. Now, underneath the bottom bracket on this bike, you can see there's actually a dual race caliper which has been sawn off to allow the crank to just pass through. Now, a little bit of customised tech I've just found in the back of the Lotto Soudal team bus is this, a football with their logo on it. Now, if your cycling team doesn't have their own logoed up football, then you are nobody in the World Tour, quite frankly, and I'm a little bit sweaty. I've just been having a kick around with them. The results are England 1, Belgium 0. Professional cyclists, they don't necessarily have all the means to be able to customise their bike truly, because generally it depends. If you're a champion of some sort, then you can really go to town. In the case though of Loic Chedut of Cofidis, he's actually customised his stem top cap. So he's got some jaws on there or some aggressive looking teeth. So as long as it gives him some strength along the way, who cares? Go on, Loic. Now, I hope you've enjoyed that look at custom tech. Let me know though, what's your favourite bit of tech? So remember to fill it in down there in the comments section. And for more great content, head on over to the GCN Tech channel, where we've got so much tech for you to get well and truly stuck into. Also, remember to like and share this video, so give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to check out the GCN shop at shop.globalcyclingnetwork.com. And now for more fantastic content, click those links on screen right now.